Thank you very much. C.L. King, our guest. We have Katie, Carly, and Emily here in the studio this afternoon. And the question was asked by one of our callers, and I'm going to get to that in just a moment with our guest, C.L. King of the C.L. King Group, and also where we can learn more about his organization. Stay with us here on Youth Points. Chat with us for a few more minutes. C.L. King of the C.L. King Group. And C.L., you were talking about your experience with trying to reach out to a teacher and trying to gain some opportunity for one-on-one communications, personal communications, where you can gauge, if you will, a particular situation, but also to understand, I would argue, the stress of the moment. You were trying to check on a youngster about their potential health situation. Is this an indication, CL, that so many people now have become so reliant on technology that they basically are avoiding communicating?
Yes, and you know, the reason why I think that is because technology and, you know, all the nonverbal forms that we use has made life more convenient, and we can't argue with that point. And remember, I said last week I wasn't suggesting that we go back to the Stone Ages, but what I am saying is there are times in which people rely on technology so much that they miss important occurrences in life. For example, someone will say, "Hey, I'm not going to be into work. I text you. Did you get my text?" Mm-hmm. Well, I didn't get your text that you were not going to be at work, and I'm here waiting on you to show up to do your task. Well, the person, and we have become a society that believes I sent a text or I sent you a Facebook post or a message. That was good enough. And there are certain levels of where you need communication, and you need to have. Hey, look, I'm going to be late with the rent. I'm not going to text you that. I'm going to let you know. That's a courtesy.
Well, you know, let's talk about that. You know, the advantage, and I want to get with the ladies in here. We have Emily, Carly, and Katie. One of the advantages of texting is you aren't out on a limb insofar as an immediate reaction. In other words, someone calls you and they want to, let's say, for example, they want to decline going to the movies with you. If they text you, they don't have to give you an explanation. I'm just using that as an example. But I mean,
great explanation.
There's no explanation required because you don't have the benefit of immediacy of saying, why not? Mm-hmm. And also, let's be blunt, you can tell when someone's not telling you the truth by the tone of voice. Is that pretty accurate?
Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, is this an opportunity, if you will, to avoid responsibility?
Oh, yeah, definitely. You can avoid talking to people by, like, just not texting back. Like, in a phone call, you can't just, like, not respond and hang up. That's rude. But you can just not text back, or you can avoid your responsibilities by just sending a text and calling that quits, and that's all you have to do.
Or if you text someone and you're like, "Hey, do you want to go to the movies at 7?" and they don't text you back until 8:30, and it's like, well, the movie's almost over now.
Yeah,
so.
you knew for... Okay, CL, before we wrap it up, and I want to get to your organization, the CL Group, here in just a moment, CL King, our guest. In essence, technology has relinquished responsibility. And so when you're meeting these youngsters, they don't have this ability to look you in the eye. It's not only a lack of confidence, it's also a lack of either trust or integrity. What's your thought?
That I agree, sir, because what has happened, I'm very selective on what students I allow on my Facebook page, but what you do see is that what a young person or even adult, would not particularly say to you face-to-face. This new generation of technology has allowed us to say things and break down walls that we normally would not do. In other words, you'll see people making a rant on Facebook or making a rant on Twitter and going off, but then when you see them face to face, they're docile and quiet and sedate, and I'm just like, is this the same person? And so what technology has allowed us to do, like the young lady suggested, is we don't have to be responsible for it. We can go out there and make a post and then shut our computer down and not have to deal with any of the fallout or ramifications from what we did.
Real quickly, the organization, the CL King Group, what do you do? And one of the callers we had earlier wants to know what inspired you to create this group.
Well, it's very quick. I'm familiar with you with radio. You got to be quick. I understand. I was a foster kid. I was a kid raised in group homes and a couple foster homes. And my foster mom had 87 foster children over 30 years. And as a young child, I was abused. Spent periods of times of homelessness and just really, really the typical rough childhood in the streets of Cleveland. And my foster mom, Ruth Plowden, said to me when I got to her at 13 years old, she said, you can allow all of that stuff to determine your future, or you can use it to shape your future. And so that's what we did. We started out by just, it was kind of like a dream of mine to really give back to the next generation like my foster mom did. And then in 2010, we said, you know what, we want to, because just trying to do it, people just don't really take you seriously. So I said, why don't we form a nonprofit organization, the CL King Group, and we did. And we started volunteering in schools, speaking in churches, telling my story of overcoming, and then using that story as a platform to help young people realize that they can achieve any goal they set forth. We hosted, as you know, the largest bullying conference in the state right there in New Bern. We have a youth leadership training that we do now, and also we help people deal with at-risk youth all the time. So I deal with the home, the school, the community, faith-based organization, and the individual child. That is our focus, those 5 areas. And we do that all year long, and it really has become a movement of ours that we see. Hey, look, young people want to be challenged. I know the ladies in the audience. I don't know in your studio. I don't know if they're mad at me or not, but even just in our conversation, we have challenged ourselves to think maybe I could put the phone down for a while. We did a techno turn-off night with my group, and we did a school that did it. We challenged the whole school, no technology for 24 hours.
Would you all Wait.
Huh?
Would you? I want to look at them. They've all got their cell phones in front of them. Would you all put it? Would you for 24 hours?
Listen, I can't. Because here's the situation. I got things to do. People gotta talk to me. I gotta talk to them. Like, I don't know how I'd make it without my phone, to be completely honest.
All right.
Let me just add this one little point.
Okay.
When a person said that our generation now has lost the ability to appreciate things and appreciate experiences because we are busy photoing them or recording them or filming them versus taking them in.
Okay, hold on. Let me hear it, Carly.
I was about to make a comment about that. I mean, I can go sometimes where I don't want to text people. Like, I don't know, I just get in these moods where I don't want to text people. But also, I like to have my phone on me so I can take photos of things to remember them, because I'm not going to remember it, and then I'm going to look back 30 years and I'm going to be like, wow, look at this picture.
You're going to have your
pretty.
phone in 30 years?
Yeah. I mean, I might, like, the pictures are going to transfer.
Okay, let me hear from you, Katie.
I've gone without my phone for quite a while at points in time.
All of her own goal, of course, though. She never gets in trouble.
All right. All right, back to you, CL.
Well, I just wanted to say, just to clarify and help you see it even more in your mind's eye. My son and I, father, son, I got 7 children. We were at Mac Daddy's. We were going to have the first race of the year in the go-karts, and I was fumbling around trying to get my phone to take a video of this father-son moment, this epic moment. And I couldn't get my phone to work. And you know what I realized? That some things are just not videos. Some things are just not photos. They're just to be cherished in your memory.
Yep. We'll have to talk about the memory of these students. At times, I wonder if we aren't. I'm thinking there's talk, there's some conversation here that technology is working against those memory cells. So, CL, as always, thank you very much. Before we wrap it up, if anybody's wanting to get more information about you, how can they do so?
Tell them to use the easiest mode of technology. Tell them to go on Facebook and just look up the CL King Group, and they can see all of the things that we do throughout the state all year long. Very, very simple. And we got a book coming out in 2016, Don't Drop the Hammer. It's a youth inspirational book about my life story, helping young people to overcome adversity.
Outstanding. The CL Group, and we posted that on our Facebook page as well. Ross was doing that as you were talking.